What's up, everybody? Another episode of the Wayne In Podcast. And my man, Big Ange over here, was waking me up this morning. I was up all night with my sick dog, and he's like, "Hey, man, are you dead? Are you alive? We're supposed to go at 9 o'clock."
Our last text together yesterday, were you like, "You good for tomorrow morning?" I said, "Yeah." And you said 9. I said, "Yeah." That was the last text I got from you. Then 10:30 rolls around. I'm like, where the hell is this guy?
He's like, "What happened?" I got like a chain. It was, like when your side chick's constantly calling you and going,
I don't know that. I am a faithful, loving husband.
Right.
I don't know what you're saying. I've never. I can't relate.
I was waiting for you to respond on that. That was great. That was a quick reply too. Quick reply.
Well, when you have nothing to hide,
yeah. Well, you got nothing to do.
Right it just flows right out.
You're going to be traveling this week, and I loved you were telling me the stories about your travel experiences, and it's gotten real windy here today. I'm back in Texas now.
Today's crazy windy.
It's crazy windy today. And the great part is you're stressing. You are 6'3", 285 pounds.
Yeah. Whoa.
Just a chicken when it comes to flying.
270. Dude, I travel a ton for work, like a ton. I'm on planes constantly. I'm a great traveler in that, like, I fly through security. I've got cleared. No, I know exactly what to do, how to do, where to do. Like, I'm dialed in. I get to the airport like the perfect amount of time. But if that plane moves even a little bit, I'm like, oh fuck. And it's getting worse with age. I don't know why. I'm just getting more and more like 10 older I get. And you'd think I'd be like, I don't know. And I'm with my kids, so it's not like a drink. I'm not gonna let my kids see me half drunk on a plane, so it's only to Florida, so 2 hours, just grit it and bear.
Yeah, it's not too bad. And you're gonna be on a cruise.
We're doing like a 4-day cruise, which I do not want to do. I love growing up. We did family cruises because there was a lot of us, and it was like cruises were perfect because, some people had more money than other people and kids are different ages, and it just worked for everybody because it was affordable. Everybody could do something regardless of your age. But now that I'm an adult, it's awful, dude. I have to travel to the travel. Like, I got to fly, go through security, do all that crap, do it for a boat. Then we're on a boat and it's supposed to rain the entire time. So I'm just going to eat and then eat and then eat and then every day be like, why am I out of breath?
And like I said, 285.
Yeah. So I'll be 285 on Friday when we get back. I'll show up 270.
It's I've never been on a boat cruise, and I mean I've been on like
you've been on a land cruise. What the fuck did it take?
No, but I've never been like on a cruise. Like, I've been on the ones that like they go out on the ocean and like just go down the coastline and come right back.
Oh, that's not a cruise.
Yes, exactly. They're like party buses.
Yeah.
So it was. But yeah, I've been on like those, and I've been on the ones like on lakes where you get out on this big, huge double decker.
Yeah, these are not cruises. Dude, these cruise ships they're bigger than the biggest hotel you've ever been in sideways. Like, they're huge. Oh yeah,
they're enormous.
I don't get. I'm not worried about. I don't get motion sick. I don't give it. The issue is the rooms are tiny.
Yeah.
And unless you're going to spend $5,000, which we are not going to do, you're in it. Like, when I say tiny, like there's no room. Like, the kids are sleeping on beds that fold up from the ceiling. Like, the rooms are tiny.
How do you take a shit?
There's a tiny little bathroom.
Yeah, like is it like a airplane bathroom?
Yeah, basically with a shower. So just a smidge bigger. I'll go shit in the hallway though.
No,
I'm not gonna shit in my room and do that to my family. I'll go in the hallway.
They have a hallroom bathroom.
Well, every floor, like where there's the front of the boat and the back of the boat, both have like stairs and elevators going up, and actually maybe even the middle. So every floor, there's like huge, nice, bath, whatever. So
got it.
Depending where our room is, I'll wake up, get my coffee, go to that bathroom, and
go drop a deuce. Some boneless brown trout.
I wake up 2 hours before my family too. So
yeah, normally me too. Not till today. Like, and just waking me up at 10 o'clock is fucking so strange to me. Plus, I have no kids here, no wife here. They're all in California still, staying with family. And I got home early because my dog is getting older, and I don't want to like be like, dogs, they feel, and they can feel when you're not.
Get anxiety.
Yeah,
dude,
we
have our
suitcases
in the just suitcases.
Yeah.
And the dogs are stressed to hell because they know we're leaving.
Yeah. Well, we have an experience. I had an English bulldog for 13 years, and literally, like, he had some fluid in his belly, so we took him to the doctor, and we left him, and the doctor's like, hey, he'll be fine. He's actually doing really well. We took him early in the morning. He's doing really well. You guys could probably come pick him up tonight. And we're like, okay, cool. And then we were like she calls back. She goes, you know what? His heart rate is still a little bit up, so we're gonna keep him overnight. And then he died in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And my wife has never been the same. She's like,
yeah, that's
we're not leaving the dog with anybody. We're not, no, because
Yeah.
you know that he died because he thought we abandoned him. And just like,
That's not why, but I can see how you
could think that, right?
do that to yourself for sure.
And so this time, like my wife, we left him with a friend of ours down the road, you know, for just the one day. And I flew back on a 5 a.m.
So
flight
the dog
home.
wasn't at home?
The dog was at home. No, he stayed
the
at home.
friend stayed at your
The
house.
friend stayed at our house. Yeah.
That's what we do. There's a lady Tiffany works with, older. She just literally takes off of work and just hangs out the house all day. Just all day with the dogs, hanging out, loving on them. So
interesting. Yeah. I might want to take that route here soon. I'm not sure. Ours just come in the morning, spend time with them a little bit, and they leave for the day. And they come back in the afternoon, feed him, and then I'm out, you know, throw the ball for him and stuff. So,
all
right. Well, hey, let's
sleeps at the house.
Let's talk UFC, man. UFC fight night last night. Josh Emmett, tough road for him to go down. I mean, fighting the young up and coming star and Kevin Vallejos, and it did not disappoint. I mean, in terms of Josh Emmett, he's 41 years old. Did you expect anything else?
No. But maybe I expected Josh to last a little longer. But I knew
that too.
Yeah, she's never satisfied with the length
or the girth. Just so you know, that's females. That's not just your wife. Okay, just so you know,
But the going into that fight, the very first words out of Din Thomas's mouth for the kick off the broadcast was, "The fighter is the last person to know that they're too old to keep fighting." Basically implying that everybody around you can see you're slowing down. You're not who you used to be, but you think your body can do something that it cannot do. And he started the broadcast by saying that about Josh. And then Josh, it was the oldest he's ever looked. And obviously Kevin's lightning fast, hits like a freight train, but we've never seen Josh just get ran through, and he got ran through.
Did you get Ilia Topuria vibes watching Kevin Vallejos?
No,
all I saw was comparison.
Yeah, because they both fought Josh, and like, you know, Kevin. Here's the problem. Like, Kevin ran through Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett's a 41-year-old man. Kevin Vallejos was like a minus 600 favorite. That is exactly what was supposed to happen. I'm not ready to be like, this kid's one of the best in the world. We don't know. He hasn't fought anybody good. He hasn't fought anybody good. He fought two old men, one Giga Chikadze, one Josh Emmett. Like, we don't know. He had a good fight with Danny Silva. He had to lean on a couple of takedowns there. But, like, we haven't seen him fight anybody good of appropriate age. And I'm not digging. I'm not – this isn't me dogging Kevin. Kevin might be phenomenal. I just let's see him get a good win over somebody appropriately aged. And then it's like, okay, yeah, turns out he is very good.
No, I would agree, man. Like, I think it's one of those – I expected Kevin Vallejos to have a good performance. I didn't expect him to have that good of a performance. Also, anytime you step up and fight a guy who has that amount of experience and you don't have that experience, you're thinking to yourself, does he freeze? Will he kind of like, you know, fight too cautiously? Will he put pressure? Will he let the fight kind of come to him? There were so many questions I needed to answer. I got a lot of them answered last night. What I haven't got, though, was he hasn't fought a Aljamain Sterling type, you know, wrestler, grappler, fighter. And that level, and look, and I'm not saying at 24 years old, I'm not looking to push him right now to that.
Yeah, it's almost unfortunate that he did this to Josh Emmett, because I'm looking at the rankings now. Josh was 11 at least. Josh dropped significantly, but now he's basically top 10 in the world. So you know, we'll see what happens with Steve Garcia and Diego Lopez and Mel Costa. Like, there are a couple of people that are maybe in his range, but it's to catapult him right into the top 15 like that, he's not going to have any. There are no easy fights. None. Yeah, I said the same exact thing. I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I go, give me one sec. Hold on. Something just flopped off. I said the same exact thing. I go, he's kind of stuck in this world right now where he can only go up. And this was always I've said this for probably, I don't know, the last 7-8 years doing the show with Big John. I said, like, you don't want to slow track these fighters that are 24, 25, but also too, when they have this type of level of excitement from the fans. Kevin Vallejos is doing a great job, man. He's a man of, it doesn't seem like he has a lot to say, but man, he's really performing and he's doing it so clean. And I can see the Ilia Topuria comparisons. He's just kind of very tight with his defense. He's obviously got big power. You know, short, stocky, you know, he's got really thick legs.
And I don't know if there's going to be guys that really can take him down. I don't know if there's going to be guys that can hold him down. It's hard to hold those short, little stubby guys down. I've trained with Sean Shirk. I trained with, Justin Wilcox.
Short, little stubby guys. Let's see his height, because you are also a short, little stubby guy. He is 5'7", Josh.
Yeah, I'm not 5'7".
Okay.
Retard.
We'll pull up a picture of the two of us together. Let's see who's 5'7".
You are 6'3", 285.
I'm 5'9".
Scared to fly like a little sissy girl. Sissy girl. You gave me ammunition for at least 1 or 2 shows. I got it. Look, I'm really excited for him, man. This is going to be great. When I'm looking at the rankings, I mean, look, for me, honestly, a fight that I would love to see and to see how it shakes out, but it's not going to happen for a long time, is maybe him and like a Steve Garcia.
Well, Steve Garcia is fighting Diego Lopez. I'd give him the loser of that fight. I wouldn't give him the winner. I'd give him the loser of that fight. Give him the loser. If Steve Garcia loses, give him Steve Garcia. If Diego Lopez loses, I mean, Diego fought for a title twice, but maybe Diego Lopez. Mel Costa is in that mix as well. Maybe who's Patricio Pitbull fighting?
Aaron Pico.
At 45? Yeah. I mean, maybe if Pico somehow loses again, like there's a couple. David Onama would be a good matchup. Like, David just lost, obviously, but to your point, you can only go up, and that is, maybe it's a problem, maybe it's not. Maybe Kevin Vallejos is the next Ilya Taporia, maybe.
Yeah.
But what you don't want to do is you rush him, then he gets broken, and then he's just never who he was supposed to be because you put him in against killers too. So what happened with Andre Fili? Andre Fili was supposed to be unbelievable. Then they're like, here's Max Holloway. And he just never quite lived up to what he was supposed to be, even though a lot of people think he won last night. But I don't know. I like Kevin Vallejo. He's exciting. We need exciting people. That's why I'm not excited to throw him in there with somebody who might beat him.
Yeah, okay. I look at it a couple different ways. I can say, like, hey, Patricio Pitbull, because Patricio is older, Patricio does stand, Patricio is slowing down, like he could, and then that puts another just feather in his cap. Like, I beat a Bellator champion, I beat a whatever champion, right? You go him. Now he's already ranked ahead, Patricio now being ranked number 11 because of the Emmett situation when he beat Emmett last night. Steve Garcia, Arnold Allen, Yusuf Zalal, John Silva. Does he do a rematch with John Silva? I don't think you do that.
I wouldn't rush it. Wait.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Wait.
Yeah, build that up.
Because you don't want either one of them to lose is the problem with some of those fights. Like there's a lot of, like, Yusuf is fighting Aljo. Like there's a lot of really good 145-pound fights coming up. Let's just see how they flesh out. I don't think we catapult Kevin. Like like I said, who did he beat? A 41-year-old Josh Emmett, an old Giga Chikadze, and then he lost to John Silva, credible loss, and a close fight with Dan. Let's see how Danny Silva does this weekend, because he's fighting this weekend at UFC London. So there's a lot. There's no reason to rush the kid. I don't exciting. Think so either. Let's ride the wave.
But are we being too conservative with him? Because think about this: John Jones was champion at 24.
Yeah, but it was.
Would we be saying the same thing?
It was like his 5th fight in the UFC to get
this. This is his 3rd. Isn't it?
Correct.
This is his 3rd.
That was his 3rd, yeah.
Okay. So you want to give him 2 more fights and then be like, okay,
let me look at John. All right. I can't let you get this win. Let me look at John Jones.
But no, my argument wasn't like because of how many fights he has. My argument was that he's 24 years old. Like, were we saying the same thing about John Jones at 24 years old? No, we were like, no, get him to the title. Like, this kid's so good, so exciting.
So John Jones beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh wow, yeah, a lot more.
I included Matt Hamill in those wins.
Okay,
so 7 wins. Yeah, I mean, he beat the fuck out of Matt Hamill.
He lost.
7 UFC fights with 1 quote unquote loss, and then he fought Shogun for the belt.
Got it.
I hate rushing some of these guys, because then you lose out on, like, there's exciting fights to be had. This is a stacked division. We don't need to, there's no reason to rush anybody to the top. Next week at UFC London, 2 undefeated guys. This is a stacked division. Let this kid get some experience. Let him get some wins. He speaks Spanish. He's good looking. He's exciting. There's no reason to rush him. Like, just let it play out.
I would agree, man. I'm on your side for once. You're lucky that I'm saving you, but I'm on your side. This Yeah, there's just no one. There's no one there. I see the Patricio maybe because Patricio is 39 years old.
That'll be
40
his
probably.
third old dude in a row.
Yeah, and that's what you're there to do,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
This is what you're there to do. You're there to help cut the UFC's pay. Like you're there to make their budget. That's what the young studs are meant to do. Like, hey, go over there, beat that guy, get our pay scale down. We can pay you more. The more guys you beat or you knock their pay down, the more money I could give to you. That's kind of how I think they look at it. We have this much money budgeted for the 145-pound division and so forth and so on. Okay, what do you do with Josh Emmett? Does he keep fighting? I didn't see if he announced his retirement. I went live right after this.
He said he signed before the fight. He said he signed a brand new contract. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. Now, I don't think. Let me look at Josh Emmett's career real quick. He doesn't have any recent wins. It's 3 in a row. Lerone Murphy, credible loss. Yusuf Zalal, credible loss. Kevin Vallejos, credible loss. He knocks out Bryce Mitchell, loses to Ilya, loses to Yair. These are good. He has 5 losses in his last 6 fights. They're good losses.
Yeah.
So until he has a bad now this was a literal bad loss in that he was knocked out. He literally was swinging at air. I think I give him another fight and just knock him way down. Like give him Pitbull.
Yeah, that's true.
Give him Pitbull. Like give him another old dude and give him Giga. Give him Pitbull. Like give him another older dude and just see what that looks like. And if he can win, then all right, maybe, we've had this discussion. Just because Josh Emmett isn't top 5, top 10 in the world doesn't mean he's not top 50.
Yeah.
He could still go out there and get a couple good wins, make $1 or $2. Josh,
big knockouts. We had Jim Miller still fighting, I believe. I'm not sure if he announced
still fighting. Yeah. No.
Yeah. So it's like he's got
Jim Miller's been getting gifts though. Like Jim Miller, they give him, sometimes they'll give him like a young prospect, but Jim Miller's never getting like, here's this destroyer of worlds, Jim. Or here, like it is like, I don't know how he's able to just even keel, just chill across the board, win a couple, lose one, win a couple, lose one. He has like more wins than anybody in history, more octagon time than anybody in history. Jim Miller is just managing to just chill.
Yeah, you know what it is, right? Is that look, this guy can fight, and then as you get older, this went through my mind. Yeah, this one went through my mind as well. As I was towards the end of my career, I was like, okay, look, I keep trying to fight guys that are in the top 5, top 3, or top 10, whatever it was, right? I can keep trying to fight those guys, or I can just stop now and not fight those guys, or I can just fight guys that are outside of that and just still make enough. You're still making $150,000 to $200,000 a year. That's nothing to slouch.
Jim Miller's. Yeah, the amount of time he's been there, he's making a ton of money.
That's what I'm saying. I would fight. I would fight one time, make $150,000 or $200,000 a year. Fight one time, and it could be a scrub. It could be. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that to myself. Because it's more of an ego check to yourself. Sure. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. But I could have still stayed and went and and fought, but it just was in your mind. That's what Jim Miller's doing. He's like, I'll fight once a year, make $200,000, or and it's I'm okay with that. I don't have any problem with that.
No, listen, and he's doing it the right way. Meat Rocket here said they gave Jim Miller Bobby Green Bobby Green's not a destroyer of worlds. Bobby Green versus Jim Miller was a very even matchup. They're both I would say very good, well-rounded mid-level guys. Bobby was the better fighter on that night, but Bobby's not. I mean, anytime Bobby fought somebody in the top 5 or 10, he got destroyed. Literally, just ran through.
All right, let's go ahead and go Julian Robertson versus Amanda Lemos. Look, everyone's like, oh, well, what happened to Amanda Lemos? I'm like, this is what happens to her when she fights.
She also looked good.
Yeah, I didn't think she looked bad.
You could argue she won.
I don't think you could.
The second round, all Jillian did was hold her down, did nothing, didn't climb her back, had her in no danger whatsoever at any point, just held her down. And Amanda was the one throwing up random fake submissions and like trying to make something happen. Then Amanda ends the round on top, raining down strikes. She landed more strikes. She was trying to finish. And I thought I thought control was nothing. I thought it was bullshit. Now I think Jillian won. I would have scored it for Jillian, but you absolutely. It's not crazy if you wanted to say Amanda won that fight.
It sounds kind of crazy to me.
Because we have the old school mentality that takedowns matter, but they're not supposed to matter anymore. It's supposed to be what you do with the takedown, and Jillian did nothing.
Yeah.
In the second round. Third round, fine. Second round did nothing with the takedowns.
Look, I thought, let me ask you a question. Have you noticed this? Does Jillian have like a hitch when she walks?
Yeah, everybody was texting each other like, she's hurt. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but I don't think
she's
it's a
limped
limp.
before.
I think it's more of like a hip thing, like a hip flexor or something like that. 'Cause she
I
doesn't
haven't
turn
paid
her. Yeah.
I haven't paid close enough attention in the past to know if this was new or not.
Yeah, I don't know if it was new either. That's why I was asking. I actually was like, does she have a hitch? And I asked on the last show last night. So very strange. I was like, man, this is not good. If she can't move. But then she went out there and looked normal. She looked out there and just looked like she was just cruising through, trying to get the takedowns, kept pushing. Like she's a lot better than I gave her credit for. I thought Lemos was going to do a better job of staying on her bike, sticking and moving, staying on her bike. And she just didn't have it. So
I was gonna say she's worse than I thought. Her takedowns are not good. Her striking is
really?
not good. Dude, she only had one good takedown,
Lemos,
and it was in the second round after getting smacked around in the first.
So you're saying that she's worse, but then she beat the girl who's beat the current champion. It doesn't make sense.
It makes a ton of sense. I also just said you could argue she won that Lemos won this fight. Lemos was the far better striker, not even remotely close, like not even a little bit close. And Jillian Robertson in the first round had like no success whatsoever. Couldn't get takedowns going. She was the one on her back getting smacked around. Then the second round, she does have a nice takedown because she lowered her level at the perfect time. Great. But then she ends up, the round gets finished with her on her back getting laid, like smacked and cracked in the face. Well, I was going to say getting laid into, but then in the third round, in the third round, the third round was far more control and dominant, but she is the Grant Dawson of the women's division. Except she does have a lot of finishes and Grant can't finish a sandwich, but if she can't get a takedown, she is screwed.
Yeah, she is
screwed.
She is.
Even like Michael Bisping tried to say it the nicest way possible when that fight started, and Michael Bisping was like, Jillian Robertson's striking is always improving. It's like, that means it's terrible. Is what that means.
Yeah, this is funny. It's true though. She seems like a one-trick pony. Miranda Maverick kind of reminds me a little bit. Like they're very similar in terms of like they just chase the submissions, chase the wrestling.
Jillian's better than Miranda because Jillian at least has subs and Miranda's just all wrestling. But yeah,
you understand what I'm saying. But let me pull this up real quick because I thought it was pretty funny. I think with her, she just needs to keep doing what she's doing. But I will say this though, she finds herself on the outside, slightly missing the big shots. Does that make sense?
Jillian?
Yeah, Jillian Robertson. Like she didn't take a whole lot of damage on the feet. If I was watching the fight and she's slightly in, slightly out, and then as you overcommit, she's able to drop her level and get the takedown. I found it very
I think she's afraid to engage.
Yeah, but there was just the shots that she just wasn't getting hit clean. Let me show you this here.
I thought Amanda looked really good in that fight. I thought Amanda looked really good. Even when like the third round, she kind of was like didn't have much to offer. In the second round, she's doing nonsense, like a figure four headlock. Like she's doing nonsense, just squeezing her legs for no reason. But there was a random fake armbar in there. There's like she's doing stuff. She's working on the feet, clearly better. Like I thought Amanda actually looked decent, and I thought Jillian snuck out a pretty bad win.
Yeah. Do you agree with the degenerate MMA fan here? It says, I hope they put Dern versus Robertson first before we do Weili Zhang. I don't think that'll happen. But
no, Jillian Robertson did not earn a title shot with that win. And I just like that might be the most boring fight in history. Two women who can't really strike and have no takedowns.
Have you seen a boring? I haven't seen
Mackenzie Dern gets that because somebody earlier commented Jillian Robertson is just Mackenzie Dern with red hair. No way. Mackenzie Dern, while her striking is not very good, she is tough. You can hit her in the face with a baseball bat, and she's just going to keep moving forward, bombing away. Like she will strike with you.
Yeah, no, she will. She'll take him on the chin. She'll try to deliver him as well because she has no takedowns. So she has no choice. Like I have to stand because my takedowns are trash, but my jiu-jitsu is fucking fantastic.
It makes no sense. I just couldn't imagine being so good at one thing. That's like if it was the inverse, if you were like the greatest takedown artist the UFC has ever seen, but the very second you hit the ground, you're submitted. The whole world would be screaming, Jesus, dude, stop wrestling, go to a jiu-jitsu gym for a week and you'll be fine. Yeah. I don't know why that same level of like hate doesn't go towards these jiu-jitsu nerds where it's like, you are so good on the ground. you don't need to train jiu-jitsu anymore. What
Yeah.
you need to do is Dagestan 2-3 years. That's what you need to do. Go wrestle.
Does your wife ever walk into the room when you're watching fights and like this is what she sees?
I saw that. That was funny.
Every time, right? Every time I had somebody send me like, bro, I'm fucking watching fights and this is my wife walks in like this. And she sent me that.
That is so funny.
Oh, great. Hey, a degenerate MMA fan, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you, buddy. Look, I thought overall it was a good fight. They got after it a little bit. Julian
It was
Roberts
tense for sure because it's like I don't know what way this is gonna go.
Yeah. I definitely. And then what was the next fight on that far? Is Jose
Delgado and Andre Fili.
Andre Fili. Give me your rundown on this fight. What'd you think?
Listen, I not only did I bet on Jose Delgado, I had him in like one of my most confident whatever. And We Want Picks as a whole was very exposed to Jose Delgado here. And obviously you're sweating that fight. You are sweating that fight, watching that fight, because first round he gets dropped. Andre Fili just cracks him with a beautiful, it was like an overhand counter. Maybe it was a straight right, I forget, but he just blasts him. And then the second round, Jose looked a little better. Third round was super close. Jose seemed to be running away with it a little bit, but then he got taken down and like slammed down. He got taken down. Jose scrambles up. He gets slammed back down. Andre ends up on top landing straight. Like if I'm removing all bias whatsoever, I probably would have scored that for Andre Fili if I was a judge. But I also value wrestling more than everybody. Like we do live in this era where wrestling doesn't mean shit. And it's crazy to me.
Yeah, I scored it for Fili. I had Andre Fili winning the fight. I thought it was a close fight. It was 1-1 going into the third.
You think the takedowns is what did it?
Yeah, I thought the takedowns and the fact that how he tried to finish it by like kind of finishing real hard on the
Donkey Kong at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I don't know. Look, and but I am a little biased because I do enjoy watching Andre Fili. Andre Fili is kind of like a little bit of a younger version of my era. And he's also a Bay Area guy, from Team Alpha Male. And we all would see each other like almost every weekend at these small shows and even the bigger shows. We'd always see each other. Fili, Danny Castillo, like Uriah Faber, all the kids, all the guys. I say kids, all the guys. We'd see each other almost every weekend. And so I was obviously rooting for him. I thought he did enough to win. But I'm glad that you said the same thing. You thought maybe you could have scored it for him because I felt
I bet hard on that dude. Like we were very, if Andre Fili wins that fight, like we have a problem. We Want Picks would have been down bad. We were overly exposed because there's 4 of us placing bets, and not everybody checks other. Like we all just do what we're gonna do in our own little silo, and sometimes we align. And it would have been a problem because we all were like, Jose should win this fight. And it was, if I'm Andre Fili, I'm pissed at the decision, but he should be pissed at himself because if he wrestled more, that would have been every time he tried to wrestle, he got the takedowns. Yeah. Every single time. Jose Delgado wasn't stuffing takedowns. He was getting taken down. So it's like, what are you doing? You had that success. Do more of it.
I had a ton of people last night going fraud check. Like
that wasn't a fraud check. That was a tough fight against a really good, well-trained guy. Dude, Andre Fili had 20 UFC fights.
Yeah.
20. Yeah, dude, I'm not even going to pull out the passport. This is rage bait. It's rage bait at this point. Somebody commented the other day that was like, Angela, you see they're changing the rules for citizenship in Italy. You're going to be screwed with that passport. Citizenship is forever. I'm a citizen forever. You can't revoke citizenship. I have it. It's not a green card.
No, they're revoking dual citizenship. You can only have one passport. Is what the U.S. is doing.
Passports and citizenships are 2 different things.
Okay, well they're revoking citizenship. They're revoking dual citizenship. So you have to choose Italy or here.
Who's doing that?
The U.S. government is they're putting a bill for it. Yes, they can. My wife
I was born here. They can't revoke my American citizenship.
No, they're not going to revoke your American.
Some other country's citizenship either.
No, they're going to make you pay. They're going to make you choose which one do you want to be part of. You're gonna choose this country or that country
or what?
Huh? What do you mean?
Or what? That's what I'm saying. Well, you can't. America can't take my citizenship.
Yes, they can.
How? I'm from here.
It doesn't matter. They can.
Of course it does matter. You
They
cannot do
can.
that. No,
And they will.
You can't do that. It's not possible. I'm going to get ICE is going to deport me. I'm from here.
This guy right here, Meat Rocket. He's got a Russian passport. Might want to keep that to yourself.
Now you might get kicked out.
You may get kicked out. Oh, jeez. My wife's full Chinese, but she's got a dual citizenship with the Philippines.
Now that's enemy. They're not a friendly country.
Philippines. She's got her dual citizenship with the Philippines. She was born in the Philippines, but she's Chinese. I'm like an Eric Swalwell. I married the spy, the enemy. So it's great. All right, look, let's go. Jose Delgado, not fraud check just because.
Do you think he was fraud checked? I jumped in there, but
no, I kind of no, I don't think he was fraud checked.
Let's say he didn't get the decision win. Would you call him a fraud check?
No, I think that no, I don't think he got fraud checked. I think what he did was he found that you can't take anyone lightly. This was a learning experience for him. I really believe it was. He got dropped in the first, realizing, look, every time I chase after him, he's hitting me with some counters, and that's exactly what happened. Feely's really good at stepping off and switching his stance and throwing the right hook, like a little straight right or overhand right that landed, caught him clean. And then when he was still there, he hit him with the left hand. That's what dropped him, actually, was the left hand. The right hand rocked him, the left hand clipped him and put him down to his knees. And he kept fighting. He worked through it. Guys that work through that type of stuff, instead of just going to their back and covering up into the turtle, nah. Kid wasn't fraud checked. He made the adjustments too. He looked better in the second round. And then he made those little adjustments. Yeah, he didn't quit. He made the adjustments. Feely wasn't fighting him at a rapid pace, which I think kind of also helped him. Where if Feely would have put a lot of pressure on him, I think Feely maybe potentially could have got him out of there. Had Feely put the pressure and he folded, then yeah, obviously a fraud check situation. But he made his way through it, and I thought he looked good. What? You're smiling. You got a little smirk on your face. What you looking at?
If I did, I didn't mean to. I was probably thinking about lunch. I think, I don't think it was a bad performance by either one of them. I think they both got after it. And Andre Feely is one of the most experienced guys in that weight class. Mm-hmm. Nobody runs through him. Like Dan Ige knocked him out, but that's freaking Dan Ige. He got caught in a guillotine against Melk. Like outside of that, this dude's going to war with some of the best to ever do, and he has been for a very, very long time. I thought it was a good fight and a learning experience for Jose Delgado for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Marwan Rahiki versus Harry Hardwick.
What a war that was.
So I was saying this last night when I had the two in the first round. Let me get this out. In the first round, these two are kind of just playing tit for tat. And I was like, man, this is a really horrible fight.
They gave the first round to Harry.
But I was simply saying that I thought the first round, I was like, these guys belong in the LFA. This is a horrible fight. And then the second round came, and I'm like, these guys are fucking awesome. This is great. Like they were throwing down. Harry was taking it on the chin, and Rahiki got rocked a couple times. They got after his heels. Yeah, they both got after it. Then he finishes the fight, and you could tell his jaw was broke because, like they were saying, his mouth was open. It's very rare that your mouth stays open for any reason when you're in there in a fight. Like unless your nose is broken, then you got to breathe through your mouth. Yeah. So the fact that he still finished the round, comes back, he's like, my jaw's fucked. And he whispers to his corner first.
He apologized. He's like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, man, but my fucking jaw is fucked. And look, and I mean, that's great. The fact that you were able to finish around, the fact that you understood the importance of like my jaw is broken. You can end up with some serious damage if you continue fighting, And there was a guy named Alex Polizzi fought Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero's first fight in Bellator. He broke his jaw in two spots, one here and one here, and then a little one actually. So 3 spots, a little tiny break in the back. I saw the x-rays on it. This guy finishes a fight 3 rounds with Yoel Romero. I was like, holy shit.
Every jab has to be the worst pain you've ever been in.
Gosh. I mean, think about like broken noses as well. I've never had one in a fight. But then Rory McDonald, when he fought Robbie Lawler, how he just got crumbled in that last round because of the nose break. And every time you get hit there, just a jab, doesn't matter how hard, it fucking hurts. This stud finished the round, goes back, still trying to talk to his corner about how I think my jaw's broke, and they're like, okay, what do you want to do? He's like, oh, I don't know. Let me, I got him and Hall. Like, what you want to do?
There's no shame. Some people tried to call him a quitter. It's like, dude, no.
Shut up.
No, like there's no shame. His jaw is broken. Like there's no shame in that. And it's funny because after Harry's UFC debut loss, where his leg just got destroyed and he got carried out in a stretcher, was a little fucking ridiculous. That was just limp. You're fine. It's not broken. It just hurts. So that was kind of an embarrassing loss. But once you process it, and when I broke down the Harry versus Rahiki fight this whole week, I was like, listen, guys, I was definitely in the camp that this guy sucks. Cage Warrior sucks. All these Cage Warrior champions are garbage. But the reality is he took that first UFC fight on short notice, up in weight against a very good Caio Fernandez. So it's not really like his leg got chewed up. He couldn't move. It is what it is. I think he's really tough. And the other most confident bet I had on this card was the over 1.5 in this fight. Mm-hmm. And these two dudes were fighting like they wanted me to lose every penny I had. They were doing everything imaginable for this to not go over 1.5 rounds. And luckily they're just both tough because they just gutted through it. Because it was a fun fight. It was a good fight. And while his jaw getting broke is horrible for Harry, it might end up being one of the best things that happened to his career because now he's getting respect from people where he was like kind of a laughing stock coming into this. And now he's like getting respect and people are like, dude, good for him. This guy's all time tough. And hopefully he gets a favorable matchup and can win and doesn't just become Chris Motino. But good for him. Dude went out there, fought his ass off.
He kind of reminded me, Harry Hardwick reminded me a little bit of John Fitch, the way he stands, the way he kind of, but without the wrestling. I'm just simply saying.
Insult. That's the biggest insult you can. This English
predominantly
striker guy reminds me of one of the worst strikers in the UFC.
The way he walks, the way he holds his hands up, the way he like kind of does his technique. And by the way, people calling him a loser because he's or a quitter. Do you see the commercials during the Olympics? No. You got the big fat guy. He's like on the couch in a chair, and like they miss a move or something. He's like, "Oh fucking!" He goes, "What a loser!" And he just stuffs his face full of food. Yeah. Those were the greatest commercials ever.
No, 90%. Are you familiar with the dead internet theory?
Dead internet.
Yeah, and I'm gonna butcher this, but there's a theory out there that the internet died.
You're always doing something with food, butcher.
It's not food related. I haven't eaten today, and it's 11. The dead internet theory, I'm forgetting the year, and I'm not going to get this dead on, but here's the general concept. Something like in 2015, the internet died, and 90% of internet activity is just bots and bullshit.
Yeah.
It's all bots and it's all bullshit. It's not real. And when you start, like, it's happening in the MMA community. If you go look at Twitter, there's like MMA girl or MMA whatever. Dude, it's 80% bots, or it's click farming from like third world countries just looking for engagement. Twitter, once Twitter started paying off engagement, it literally pays off engagement. Like Jacob gets okay money from Twitter randomly because he has phenomenal engagement, but Jacob's engagement is sincere because he's clever and he's funny and it's not rage bait bullshit. But that's why, like, in every feed now, you're just getting like, there'll be you'll click on a popular tweet with 1 million impressions and all the replies are like random AI videos of bullshit because people are getting paid on impressions. And where I'm going with that is the immediate "this guy's a quitter" felt very just clickbaity, impression driven take. Because the real humans, like names I've seen before in comment sections and stuff like that in my Discord, where it's definitely humans because there's a lot of interaction, that was not the take anywhere. It was only the take like on Twitter in mass very quickly. And it's like, yeah, this dead internet theory thing, it's either bots or just, random third world engagement farms for $1.
Yeah, I wish they would find ways to exclude bots. I was saying this like when Elon had bought Twitter. I said there's got to be a way that everyone should just have one profile for everything. You should not be allowed to have multiple profiles. That's it. Like every profile should have to have your picture attached to it, because all the people that like to talk shit. No, you want to talk shit? Well, let's put a face to it. Let's see if you're the same.
That is kind
person.
of an old man take. Like you don't, because you could also just ignore it. Like you don't have to be on there if you don't like what people are saying. Well, they'll never get rid of the bots because the bots are driving engagement. They don't care who's talking. They just care that people are talking.
Yeah, I believe that it's no different than when I see somebody that I didn't like in fighting, right? And we see each other in the hallways. We're a lot different to each other than we are
no
if we're
shit.
talking
Yeah.
shit. And that's my point. My point is that when you put a face to somebody on the internet, things change. They're like all of a
One
sudden.
of my favorite interactions was that guy that was shitting on who's the other announcer there? The 155 pounder hasn't been there in a little bit.
Red hair, ginger.
Yeah, runs now. Fought Dustin Poirier, fought Dan Hooker.
God, it's right on the tip of my tongue.
He's so good too.
God,
come on, chat. This is what you're for. Paul Felder, Lazy Bed got it. Paul Felder.
I knew it was. Fuck.
One of my favorite moments was somebody was like, Paul Felder's his announcing is almost worse than his career. This guy sucks. And Paul Felder replied, like, if you would never say that to me in person. And he's like, no, of course not. You kick my ass. Well, at least we're on the same page. Like, that's fine. As long as we're on the same page.
He said, I respect. I think he said he respects that. I respect that.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite interactions.
Paul Felder's a good dude, man.
Oh,
he's a good dude. So those guys, I think from that Philly area, man, I think they're all good dudes, man. Sean Brady. I mean, I have never met Joe Piper.
Paul is more positive and upbeat than that. I'm from the Northeast. I know Philly people very, very well. They're angry all the time for no reason. All the time. Like Paul or what's his name fighting Adesanya there? You just said his name. The fuck?
Joe Piper.
Joe Piper is closer to a true Philly guy than Paul Felder is personality-wise. Angry at the world for no reason whatsoever. Where Paul Felder's just a nice guy. That's not. No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, because Eddie Alvarez
I bet
nice
Piper's a great dude. I bet Piper's a phenomenal friend. I bet if you're his friend, 100%. He's probably the best friend in the world. But like, just miserable for no reason whatsoever.
100%. He's fucking probably like just a ride or die dog, right? You guys are going to the movies and some dude spouts off. He's like, yeah. Come here, motherfucker. Yeah, show 100%. You to talk to my friend that way. You know, he will fucking starch somebody.
But angry at the world for no reason at all, and just a miserable prick. But that's a lot of the Northeast.
Oh man, like you got Eddie Alvarez, you got Sean Brady, you got Paul Felder, you got Joe Piper, you got other really good fighters out of that area, man. They breed good fighters.
It's a gritty city. You're gonna get gritty people, and Pennsylvania is the best wrestling state in the country. So there's a lot going on in Pennsylvania that'll somehow breed some decent fighters.
You got Kutlaba versus Umar C. Did you see that
French pussy fraud check that cut his ass?
That went through everyone last night. Was like fraud check.
That's the second time he's been fraud checked. He got fraud checked twice in 3 fights. He's been fraud checked twice. He lost to a 40-year-old Alonzo Menafield as a -700 favorite.
Alonzo lives here, right?
Yeah, Jacob sees him at dude, he trains at LA Fitness.
Yeah.
Jacob sees him at LA Fitness. I was like, go say hi.
I see him all the time, him and his wife all the time, almost every Monday.
He's probably super nice, but I'm like, Jacob, say hi. And he's like, no, I've said some fucking shit about Alonzo Menafield. It's like, well, yeah, I wouldn't say hi either.
What a jerk. Go say hi, bro. Go say hi. Say, look, man, I'm the guy that talks shit about you on the internet, but hey.
If I bumped into him, I'd say hi. I've never seen him anywhere. But But he got fraud checked against Alonzo Menafield. But like, all right, we gave him a little like Alonzo's an established guy, hits like a freight train. Like, all right. Then he beats Brinson Ribeiro, and the world was convinced, like, oh, maybe he is who he said he is. Dude, to lose the way he lost. Like, it's not like he went to war and got caught. Dude, what a French pussy, dude. And I get it. I would trade my body for his 10 out of 10 times. He'd beat my ass. Actually, I don't even know if he could beat my ass in a fight, honestly. After that, the guy can't defend takedowns, can't get his own takedowns. What are we doing?
Yeah, but you could never make light heavyweight, so.
No,
no way. There's no way.
The guy's nothing is more infuriating. Him and Vitor Patrino are in the same category of God gave you all these natural abilities and you're not doing shit with it.
Patrino is a very strange. We'll get into him here in a second, but man, Patrino's strange to me.
There are so many fighters that don't get Cody Durden's little ass, all heart, no chin. You take his heart, put his tiny little heart, put it inside of one of these just physical specimen dudes, and you will have a world champion.
Yeah,
it's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Kutsalaba, I mean, like, look, see, you think they keep C, or you think they keep him for one more fight? See how he does.
I mean, dude, they probably keep him, but like, why?
Yeah.
Because he's not excited. Like he's not excited. Like the loss against Lonzo Manafield was boring as hell. This loss, it was Kutalaba that was exciting, but Kutalaba is always exciting.
Yeah.
So like, use him on a UFC pairs card, and that's it.
Gotcha. Charles Johnson and Bruno Silva. I had Bruno winning this fight.
I thought Bruno won too. It was another fight where I needed Charles to win. I didn't have a huge bet, nothing crazy, but I needed Charles to win, and I thought Bruno won. But a lot of people think Charles won. Like there was a lot of people that were like, no, Charles definitely won that fight. Like I was surprised how many people didn't think that was the wrong direction.
You think some of that is because they see Charles fight a lot more? They're more familiar with him, and they're like, oh, no, he did this, he did that. I thought Charles gave away the first round. Didn't do shit.
He always gives away. He takes forever to get going. It's crazy.
I was like, what is going on, man? You're just giving away the round. And then Bruno Silva in the second round, I thought he won the second round. Thought he was losing the third. It was one of those fights where Bruno looked very composed, kept his defense up high. Charles didn't know how to handle the pressure. He wasn't doing a very good job. He was circling off, but every time his back actually hit the fence, he just clammed up and waited for Bruno to get done punching, and then he tried to circle out. But some of those shots landed.
He seemed worried about his own chin, which I get. He was just knocked out.
Yeah.
He seemed nervous about his own chin because Bruno hits like a freight train. He was just knocked out by Alex Perez. And I like Charles. Charles and Jacob are like actual friends. And I met Charles at UFC 303. He came up to me. He's like, oh, where's your wife? I want to say, guy couldn't be nicer. I like Charles quite a bit. I'm rooting for his success for sure. I don't necessarily know if he won that fight, but I wouldn't call it a robbery either. Because he actually had the volume. It just seemed like Bruno Silva had the more impactful shots, and Charles was perfectly happy, like backing up and circling instead of moving forward.
Yeah, not sure, man. I had Bruno. I scored it for Bruno. I thought Bruno won the first two rounds, and then in the third, it could have went either way though too. But I could have seen it. I could have obviously. I thought I could have seen it being 30-27 for Bruno also, because the third round was a close round. But
dude, wasn't there a 30-27 Charles Johnson scorecard? And that was absurd. It was absurd.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that was the fight. That was an absurd scorecard. 30-27 Charles Johnson's crazy.
I wonder who scored at 30-27. Oralbai versus Chris Curtis. Your take on that fight? Oralbai is just a grinding wrestler. He's not afraid to throw it. Throws with bad intentions when he does throw, just so he can close the distance, get to the wrestling. Chris Curtis, we're not in the day. The days are gone of trying to hit Kimuras to get out of, off the ground or get back up to your feet. Those days are gone. They've been gone for years. He's got to figure that out, man. I've had Chris Curtis on the podcast, chat with him. He's great, very energetic, cool dude. But last night, he showed no fight IQ. None. Like
I don't know if that, I mean, do you really think it was no fight IQ, or just literally he couldn't do anything? He was being smothered by a caveman. Like the guy can't do anything.
I personally think that like he could have done something. You cannot stand right in front of a wrestler knowing that they're going to try to take you down. You've got to strike and move offline, strike, move offline. He didn't do that. He stood in front of him and tried to land the big shot, and then he kept getting close. The second time in the second round, his coaches come out and they tell him like, hey, try to hit that uppercut, try to do this, try to do that. You need to finish this fight.
Yeah, the coaching was funny. You throw an uppercut. Like, yeah, that's the difference between me winning and losing this fight right now.
You got to stay. Yeah, you got to stay on your bike. Got to be circling out. You got to be moving. And he wasn't doing that, and he was trying to land the one big shot. That's the recipe for getting taken down. Once you establish your feet right in front of that person, it makes it very difficult for them to wrestle, or makes it easier for them to wrestle, I should say.
I don't necessarily disagree with any of that, but I also don't think Chris Curtis came out and was like, it's really hard to fight somebody who's not looking for an actual fist fight. I don't think that's a terrible take, honestly.
Yeah,
Modobek was not looking for a fist fight. He was looking for a wrestling match, and he got it, and he dictated, and he won, and it was dominant. Like, you can't get mad at Modobek for doing what Modobek did to get paid. He won that fight that was the most, I don't think we've ever seen somebody beat Chris Curtis that dominantly.
Not like that.
Like, that was crazy. Chris Curtis had literal 0 seconds of success. With that being said, I don't think that's a terrible loss for Chris. Like, dude, Modobek's a buzzsaw. Like, the problem is he's boring as shit. The UFC might like Renat Fakhretdinov him. He has a couple more performances like this, and it's like, dude, no. Like,
is he though? Didn't he just win? Didn't he win by knockout his last fight?
He submitted a short notice. He submitted he
knocked out Jack Hermanson.
Old Jack Hermanson, he knocked out, correct?
Let's not
Before
throw the
that,
old name around. Come on.
he's old.
Go ahead.
He submitted a like short notice UFC step up. I like Motobek. I've bet on him a gazillion times over, and I love the dominant wrestlers, but it's just we've seen the UFC cutting some of these guys.
Yeah.
Like Renat Fakhretdinov is a perfect example.
I mean, he's only got one loss. He got a split decision loss to Rebecca.
And that was a war. That was an absolute war.
Okay, so wait. So he loses a split decision, but it was a war. Then he's got one. Yeah, he's got one, two, three finishes in his 8 fights or 7 fights.
I'm not saying cut him. I'm saying if he has a couple more performances like that, because now the level of competition is going to step up, the UFC might get the Mosvar treatment, where it's like you're going to need 2,000 wins in a row before we even consider putting you in a real fight.
Yeah, I mean, who do you give him though? I mean, because he's staying at 170 now. He's not going back down to 155. It seems like
it's crazy because he looked a little soft too.
That's good. Maybe some people.
Oh, it didn't matter. His cardio was great. Like he just looked a little soft, and I was like, this is interesting. What's crazy is this is the second fight in a row for him where he's a former 55-pounder that moved up to 170, and he was fighting a former 85-pounder that moved down. Second fight in a row where that happened.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and he dominated both of them, so it didn't really matter.
Who do you match him up against though? You give him someone in the top 15? Beating Chris Curtis is a big name. Knocking out Hermanson is a big deal. Like, I mean, I would start leaning towards giving him someone in that position, but give him someone that if they wrestle, they're gonna end up paying the price. Colby Covington, Gilbert Burns, somebody in there.
Gilbert has nothing to offer. We need somebody with really good takedown defense. I don't know who that is.
Colby Covington.
Do Shavkat if Shavkat comes back.
Really? That far down?
What's wrong with that?
Shavkat, ranked number 2.
Guy hasn't fought in 38 years. That is what it is.
Bro, come on.
Here's the UFC welterweight rankings. The very last person's Daniel Rodriguez. He runs through him. Colby Covington probably runs through him, and Kobe's too big of a name to accept a fight like that. MVP, he probably can take MVP down and hold him down.
Yeah.
Uros Medic, he definitely can take him down and hold him down. Gilbert Burns takes him down, holds him down. Maybe we can talk about a Gabriel Bonfim, potentially a Buckley. Give him Leon Edwards. We can just punch Leon's ticket out of here. Then Kamaru Usman, Sean Brady, Carlos Prates. Yeah. The problem is he can take I don't know who has good enough jiu-jitsu that it's a problem, or good enough scramble skills and takedown defense to just make sure he stands.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, the Colby Covington fight definitely would make sense.
Kobe will never accept that.
But he'll never accept the fight.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the UFC would want to do that either, because if he does beat him now, we have to keep him no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh shit, now we do have to keep him. I don't know. There's some interesting fights there. Interesting fights. But after that, we had I felt like it was the fight of the night was Steven Aspen versus Vitor Patrino. What's your thoughts on that?
I think Vitor Patrino is a soft nerd, dude. Vitor Patrino has all those physical gifts. He gets dropped, I think, 3 times in that fight between the first and the second round. He was in a world of hurt a bunch of times over, shooting takedowns, not getting them. Like, Vitor Patrino won that fight because Steven Asplund has thin skin and just bleeds immediately. That's why Vitor Patrino. If Steven Asplund didn't bleed, they might have given him that decision. There was only one person close to finishing that fight, and it was Steven Asplund. He was the only person close to finishing that fight. Vitor Patrino won a decision by hopping in, jab, jab, hop in, jab, jab. Vitor was rocked. He was wobbled. He hit Steven as hard as he could. Nothing happened. And you could just saw the look in his face like, oh my God, now what?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, for a guy that looks that way, like a fucking Greek god, and he just has no push. He has no ability to really push through and drive through when the time's tough. He had Aspen hurt a couple times, and he could have went after him. And the same for Aspen though. But when you look at Aspen, you go, bro, we can see why you're not pushing. You're tired. You're carrying a little extra weight.
He said it in the corner. Did you hear him in the corner?
What did he say?
I think it was after the second round, because there was a little bit of wrestling in that round. He was like, all the wrestling, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Which is just so unfortunate, because in Steven Asplund's first UFC fight, the guy landed 170 significant strikes in a round and a half. And now in this fight, he just didn't let his hands go.
Yeah.
Where if he Steven was the one who was closer to winning this fight. And I guarantee if in that first round, if he had the same first round in this fight than his last fight, where he just let his hands go, he could have finished Vitor Patrino. I'm
100% sure, especially in that first round.
Yeah.
Especially in that first round. And there was a moment in the second round too, where he kind of hit
Patrino.
Yeah, he kind of knocked him a little bit too. And he was like, and he just didn't follow up. I'm like, what are you doing? Get after it. Just go for it. Go for it, because then that'll make him hesitant to want to come back also. Yeah, someone just posted something about Charles Johnson falling out of the cage. Was that?
No, that wasn't Charles Johnson.
That wasn't Charles Johnson, right? That was somebody else in a smaller show.
It was somebody else also with a skullet, but it wasn't Charles Johnson.
Is that what we're calling that haircut?
That's what he calls it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A skullet?
A skullet. I have a skullet wig. He sells skullet merch.
You don't need to have a skullet wig. I mean, we know you can't. You can grow the hair in the back, though. There's no hair growing on top. We know that.
There's plenty of hair on top.
There's no hair on top.
There's hair on top.
He's got the tuma. Look at that's
I mean,
just because you comb it forward.
It's not combed forward. It's under a hat.
Zeke6629, my man. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Did you guys see the video of Charles Johnson falling out of the cage during his walk-in? Sorry if you guys already talked about it. That was not Charles Johnson.
Him.
But we understand, all skullet guys look alike.
It did look just like him.
It did, actually. It did. He looked a little bit too big. He looked like too muscular.
Yeah.
And then Degenerate MMA fan, thanks for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it, buddy. After Vitor, Aspen, why don't more light heavyweights commit to moving up to heavyweight? They should make light heavyweight 195 pounds, force the weight bullies to move up. What do you think? No.
I don't think they need to make adjustments, but people should definitely move up.
Yeah, I think the weight class, to be honest, is both weight classes are dry. There's not a ton of talent in either one of those weight classes. There's more talent in 185 pound division and below and all the other weight classes. But light heavyweight and heavyweight, they're dead right now. There's dead. There's, all you need to do is get your ass in shape, and he could potentially make a run at making a title run, because there's no one there. If he was to actually take his training serious, hit the pavement, hit the road, get his conditioning under control, and also to get his weight under control. I love that you love to lift. I love the way you look, because that helps market you, all these things. But brother, just hit the pavement, man. Get some road work in, get your weight down, get some lean muscle mass, and you'll probably be a star. But you're choosing not to. You're talking, people are talking about you going up to heavyweight. That's not where you want to be. That's not where you want to be. So heavyweight's not going to solve the problem either, because there's some heavyweights there that have good cardio and they're still that big.
If Aspen let his hands go, Vitor Patrino would be the biggest fraud that we've seen in a long time. If he let his hands go, and he didn't, and Vitor got the win. But when he was desperately wrestling in the first round after getting dropped a few times and having zero success whatsoever, when the collective betting community, not me, bet on Vitor Patrino to win by submission, it's like, why are we just assuming he's going to take this guy down?
Yeah.
What have we seen from Vitor that
Are you saying that he should have been fraud checked, or he just kind of like had Aspen won, he would have been fraud checked? Is a lot of the way you're saying that is because you look at Aspen and the way he looks compared to the way Patrino looks?
No, we've seen Vitor Patrino be a clown shoe before. The way he he got his legs chewed up, shoots a takedown, gets submitted by Anthony Smith, and that's fine. Anthony Smith is Anthony Smith, but he's just laughing about it, smiling about it, not a care in the world. Next fight out, he's 1-1 going into the third with Justin Jacoby, gets knocked out, laughing about it, not a care in the world, moves up in weight. And it's just even in his wins, he was getting takedowns, looking at his corner, being like, now what? Where do I go? And his corner's like, step your left leg out, like coaching him through stuff. Like, he is a physically, like a natural athlete. He's a specimen. All those things, but I don't think he's a fighter here. I think he's physically there. He's got the coordination. He's got the speed. He's got the athleticism, but I don't think he has like that like grit, determination. Like, I am going to win, like that competitive, no matter what, I'm winning here.
What you're describing to me though is somebody who just doesn't know the game, and maybe they just fast tracked him because of the way he looks.
And he's an athlete, and he will beat everybody who is not as athletic as him. That's only a little bit better skill wise. Everybody.
He barely won last night. You could
make barely won last night. He beat Thomas Peterson pretty handily. But Thomas Peterson's another guy. He's like he's like a plumber for an electrician full time. literally. And he just, just kind of a tough dude.
Elijah Smith versus Su Young Yu. I thought honestly Elijah Smith did a good job of making sure he wasn't fraud checked. I thought he did a good job after that first round of giving his back, being stuck there. I think he finished the round on top at the very, very end, and then comes out in the second round and just like, look, that's not going to happen again, and just dispatches of Sung Young Yu. But just great job, absolutely, just a fantastic job.
Yeah, he stayed composed, getting taken down. Well, first of all, the first takedown exchange, he had the beautiful knee up the middle. He tossed him to his back, like won that exchange, but then just relentless diving at legs over and over and over after that. But he stayed composed. Elijah Smith was impressive with his composure. He didn't get frustrated. He didn't, go back to his corner like, I can't keep him off me. None of that. Stayed composed. Second round, let his hands go and got it done.
So I didn't see any other fights because I came in a little late. I was doing some testing last night. Talk to me. Is there any other fights on here you want to chat about?
No, I thought the rest were obviously Eric Anders retired, and him and Brad Tavares got after it. My take, not on that fight. I thought the fight was fine. I think Eric Anders did win that decision. But Eric Anders, I did a quick video after he retired, and I was like, first of all, good for him. What a great retirement. Like, you don't usually get to retire off a win. And Eric Anders is not a guy that, like, he didn't have like an amazing career. He had a good career, middle of the road guy, some good wins, some losses. But for him to be able to retire off a win over somebody as established as Brad Tavares in a dogfight, that just seemed great. Like, I was so happy for him. And then I was like, Eric Anders is kind of a big what if, because he very publicly battles with substance abuse and basically said he was like never clean for any fight. And then these last couple of fights, I think he was, and certainly in this one, he said he was, and he is just physically a dog. He's got all the heart, all the determination in his head. The skills are okay, but he's a dog. He moves forward. He'll throw you to the ground. He bombs away. If you drop him, he'll get back up. I was just like, I couldn't imagine, like, he might be a good what if this dude was clean and he went from his Division I national championship in football right into MMA and he was clean that whole time. This dude might have been able to be someone like really special.
People were telling me that this Bia Mosquito girl is like the talk of the card. Did you see this fight?
Talk of the card. She was a tremendous favorite. Like, she was like an 8-1 favorite and got a submission. She did drop Montserrat with a big right hand. Monsi was running forward and then ate a big right hand. She dropped her, scrambled, submitted her. Nice. I mean, she did what she was supposed to do at that.
Yeah.
At those odds and with those circumstances. I did not think, I figured she would win, but I didn't think it'd be that quick. I was surprised at how quick it was.
Interesting. All right, hey, that's going to wrap up our UFC talk for the fight night, but I want to get your opinion on the main event for next weekend. You've got Mosvar Evloev versus Lerone Murphy. I know you're going to be out of town, I think, this week, so I wanted to get your opinion on it now. I can run with it on some more stuff later this week. So give me your opinion on this fight.
I picked Mosvar, or no, I picked Jesus, my brain.
Lerone Murphy.
I picked Lerone Murphy because Mosvar, I typically will lean wrestlers. I typically will, the person who can dictate where this fight goes, that's most of the time who I'm going to pick to win. But Mosvar is not dangerous. He's a good striker, but he's not knocking anybody out. He's a good grappler. He's not snatching necks. So now we have an English guy in front of an English crowd in England, in front of English judges, who is the better, more dynamic striker, the more dangerous striker of the two. And if he just defends some of these takedowns, scrambles well on the ground, he's had 5-round experience before. I think he can pull this off. I totally get picking Evloev, but Evloev should not be as big of a favorite as he is. This fight should be a lock. He's a big favorite right now. All he has is takedowns. That's all he has. He's not going to be able to outstrike Lerone Murphy. He's not going to catch Lerone Murphy in a submission. So all he has is a perfect 25 minutes of, I get the takedowns, I keep him there. He has to do what Motobek did. He has to fight exactly like Motobek to win this fight. Because if Lerone is standing for any meaningful amount of time, his hands are going, he's a much better striker. And I think Lerone can scramble up. I think he will get some favoritism from the judges. So I pick Lerone. Should be a crazy close fight on paper. I don't know how Evloev is such a big favorite.
Interesting. You got Aljamain Sterling, who is his last opponent, Evloev's, and Arnold Allen, who decided to wrestle a little bit in that fight. Diego Lopez and Dan Ige. I mean, can Lerone do?
Arnold Allen made that fight tough as shit.
Yes, he did.
He didn't like Mosvar didn't run through Arnold Allen, and Arnold Allen's a good comparison.
Yep. No, I legitimately got on the I did a live right after that show, and I said if Arnold Allen believed in his wrestling and believed in himself, he would have won that fight. Yeah. He just chose not to. He was so afraid of the takedown. I'm like, why? You're scrambling out of almost every takedown attempt that he's doing to you, and you still just couldn't let your hands go. Just let it go, man. And he didn't do it. That's what cost him the fight, I believe.
Yeah, and Meat Rocket said he has more than just takedowns. He has elite striking. Mosvar, elite's crazy. Mosvar does have good striking, but there's no power. So if you're not worried about getting knocked out and you're not worried about like the power, just like on the ground, you're not worried about your scrambles because you're not going to get snatched, then you can do what you need to do and you can let your hands go and you can hit a rhythm. And you want to say he has elite. Elite's crazy to say. I think we can all agree Lerone Murphy's the better striker between the two. Can we not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. He's got the better lateral movement. He's got the better. He's just trickier on the sleeve. He's got more tricks up his sleeve. He's a better all-around striker.
The only way Evloev wins this fight, the only way is if it looks like the Motobek fight. And he's just hanging, or the Raul Rosas. He's just hanging on him the whole time. That is the only way he wins this fight, which is it's a plausible outcome for sure. But 25 minutes. A more dangerous, more dynamic guy at home with some biased judges. I'll take it. All right.
Got it. Zeke6629, thanks for the $5 super chat. All fight announcements. Which fight are you looking forward to watching? Me, Strickland, and Hamzat and Bobby Green versus Jeremy Stephens. I like they're bringing Jeremy Stephens back. I love that. Jeremy Stephens, he still has a lot left in the tank. He's down to go ahead and get down. I love that. Strickland and Hamzat. What about you?
Probably Strickland and Hamzat, even though that's the most boring of all of them. I think Hamzat just takes him down, holds him down the whole entire time. But the buildup will be wild. The intensity that night will be wild. Every time Hamzat fights, it does feel like a big deal. You know what I mean? Yeah. It just feels like this is a monster event. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I agree. I think Sean's going to give us something that most people didn't expect to see from Sean. I think he's going to be able to stuff a couple takedowns. I think he's going to be able to fight back up to his feet a couple times. And what he does on his feet will be, I think, the deciding factor. If he doesn't pull the trigger and he just kind of walks after him and he just keeps having to stuff takedowns, I think I can see him losing a boring fight. Now, if he allows himself to let his hands go, he's able to touch Hamzat, especially in round 3, 4, and 5. I think we see a different fight. I think we have a good chance of having a new champion. So, but he's going to have to make Hamzat work a lot in those first 2 rounds. And I'm not sure if he can do that because, Hamzat get in that top position, crucifix style, or just, controlling you from a half guard, type position. It can happen just the way he hangs on the hips, all those things. So, but I am looking forward to the Bobby Green and Jeremy Stephens fight. I think Bobby Green, this is a tough fight for him. It's a tough fight because Jeremy Stephens can walk through whatever his shots are and land his shots. So Bobby's going to have to utilize his wrestling a little bit more or his kicks a little bit more to keep Jeremy Stephens on the outside.
It'll be fun. Bobby Green's the more technical of the two. So as long as he doesn't eat just some monster bite down overhand from Jeremy Stephens, he should be able to dance around and land clean and just be better.
Yeah, it's not easy though. Jeremy's just fights. He fights reckless and careless.
Sure.
Man, he's fun to watch fight. So good fight though. Zeke6629, thanks for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you, buddy. You know what? We're going to wrap this up. Answer's got to head out to Florida, right?
Yeah, to get on the boat.
Get on the boat. Are you in the back of the boat or the front of the boat?
I don't know. Tiff books everything. I have no idea. I'm going to find out at the same time my kids do.
You don't get nervous on a boat like you do on a plane?
I don't get nervous. Like, no, not at all. It's just the turbulence is like, oh shit. I just hate it. It's like, I don't know why.
How far out do you go? Are you guys going out and come back in the same port? Or are you guys going out?
It's a quick. It's just like from Miami to Bahamas and back. It's quick. It's easy. You might even be able to see land the whole way. Like it's
nice.
Not, it's nothing. It's not like one of these crazy 7-8 day ones where you're gone forever.
Do you stop at islands for like a couple hours?
I think it's 2 stops. I think you go, I think it's during I don't know. Tiff booked it, but it's, I think it is like you're there for hours and then you get back on. Some of them stay overnight, but I don't think this will be that.
Yeah. It's like a 4 to 6 hour and then you got to be back on. Yeah. And that
Yeah.
boat will leave without you.
It's supposed to rain 100% of the time that we're there. So we'll see what this ends up actually looking like.
That sucks.
It does.
That sucks. Okay. Last super chat we got right here. Thank you so much. Jose Josh, why do you lie about the time last night? You said 10 a.m. Also, why is the trying? If you missed the beginning of the show, my dog was sick all night and I was cleaning up the mess all night and I didn't get to sleep till about 5 a.m. So I overslept. Big Ange was actually wondering if I was okay. So, all right, guys. Hey, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you guys so much. And we will chat soon.